So, officially, Apple have not released ProRes, but a little birdie has told me that Filmic Pro has managed to gain access to ProRes APIs and has given us a little sneak peek as to what it's all about. Naturally, I had to check this out. I had to give it a once over. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about ProRes in a lot more detail, how you can start shooting ProRes with Filmic Pro on your iPhone 13 Pro. Let's do this! What is going on? It's Anil. So, ProRes is here. I was taking the family out to Chinatown in London last weekend, so it was the perfect opportunity to give ProRes a try and really see what kind of results you're gonna expect to get with ProRes. But you know what? I see it all over your faces. You're asking yourself this one question. What is ProRes? Basically, ProRes is a video format that has a lower amount of compression compared to the more common video formats like H.264 or 265 that you normally see with the standard iPhone video. ProRes protects the image quality while allowing for fast encoding and decoding of your video files. Bottom line, it's a format that will allow you to capture video in much better quality, lower compression, and it's a format that is widely used by video editors. You can even edit ProRes footage directly on your iPhone 13 Pro. Apps like LumaFusion also support ProRes video editing directly on your iPhone 13 Pro. Now, Filmic Pro exposes 4 codecs options for ProRes. So you got 422 proxy with a bitrate of up to 170 megabits per second. Then you've got 422 LT at bitrate of 360 megabits per second. ProRes 422 with a bitrate of 540 megabits per second. And then you've got ProRes 422 HQ with a whopping bitrate of 735 megabits per second. Now, when I took my iPhone 13 Pro out to Chinatown, I wanted to get the best quality ProRes footage possible. So I chose HQ to film all of my footage on that day. So let's take a look at that footage of Chinatown. Wow, that was pretty good. Now, nothing too ambitious and cinematic with that footage. I was mainly focused on getting as much detail as possible so I could really see what ProRes was gonna give me. Now guys, before we move on, you know the drill. Smash the like button if you're loving the content on this channel. Hit subscribe, little bell icon. You know you're gonna get notified when I drop my next video. With that out of the way, let's look at how you can start filming ProRes footage on your iPhone 13 Pro. Now, as I'm recording this video, Apple haven't officially released ProRes for the iPhone 13 Pro yet. So the only way to get access to ProRes now is using Filmic Pro. So let's take a look at how you can set this up. Start by launching Filmic Pro. Tap on the settings icon, then tap on resolution. If you scroll down to the third config option, you can now tap across to ProRes. As soon as you've selected ProRes, you will notice the config option above will allow you to choose one of those 4 codecs options for ProRes that I was talking about before. So select your codecs and that's it. You're ready to go. It's worth noting though that the advanced filters and profile settings are not available in ProRes mode. But come on, does that really matter? I mean, we got ProRes. Oh yeah. Whew. Sorry, I have to interrupt myself in this video. Literally, it is 5 AM here in the UK. I'm editing this video as we speak, ready to go up onto YouTube in a few hours. But Filmic Pro have literally just released 6.17.1 and I can see from the notes that it now supports BT 2020. It's just dropped, not had a chance to test it, but BT 2020, increased color depth, high dynamic range, HDR video. I'm gonna get back to editing this video. So let's have a look at file sizes versus video quality. So as I mentioned before, Filmic Pro has exposed 4 codecs options for ProRes. Now I tested all of those options, and the first thing I looked at was the file sizes. I filmed 1 minute ProRes clips using each of those codecs options. 422 proxy had a file size of around 1 gigabyte. 422 LT, 2.63 gigabyte. 422, 3.35 gigabyte. And 422 HQ was a whopping 4.66 gigabyte. There is a massive difference between 422 proxy and 422 HQ. Now the big question is 422 HQ worth all that extra storage that it's using up? I have to tell you, no way, not for me anyway. For me, it's virtually impossible to tell the difference between 422 proxy and 422 HQ. I had to really zoom in to see fine detailed differences. Unless you're doing some very professional high production movies, 422 HQ is just not worth it. Now it's not clear what version or what codecs Apple's gonna release when it finally comes to the standard camera app. But if I was to guess based on the information I've seen so far, it's either gonna be proxy or LT. I have to say, 422 proxy is definitely the best option in my opinion. So let's have a look at some other things to consider. Now transfer speeds is ridiculous, especially since the iPhone 13 Pro only has a lightning port with USB 2.0 speeds. It would have been nice for USB-C to be introduced to the iPhone 13, but you know what, Apple, what can I say? Hopefully we'll get it with the iPhone 14, maybe. Transferring a 1 minute clip filmed using ProRes 422 HQ. 1 minute clip took 2 minutes to transfer to my PC. 2 minutes. Comparing that to 422 proxy, which is what I'm recommending, only took 30 seconds. So you got 2 minutes versus 30 seconds. And you're not really getting any advantage in terms of quality. So keep this in mind when you're using ProRes. Really think about, what do you need ProRes for? Are the slow transfer speeds and the extra storage going to really be a showstopper for you? The last thing I want to point out at this stage, Filmic Pro is a little buggy. Now I understand Filmic Pro have got access to these APIs for ProRes. Who knows, were they allowed to do it? It might get shut down, but what I have noticed is that it's a little buggy. I kept on getting this error message popping up on my screen during filming. And when I dismissed the error, it was resetting my settings. It was annoying, really annoying. If I wasn't just testing it for now, if I was actually doing something serious, I think I would be super frustrated with it. Now I'm using Filmic Pro version 6.17.0. I'm hoping they're gonna release a brand new update, fix some of these bugs. Whew. Sorry, it's me again. As I mentioned earlier, a new version of Filmic Pro has dropped. I can see a number of bug fixes in there, so this error might not exist, so I'm just letting you know. So to wrap up, ProRes is awesome, but ProRes has its place. You shouldn't be using it for everything. If you're just filming clips, family clips, and it's going up on social media, you probably don't need ProRes. You're probably okay using standard HDR or 8-bit, 10-bit Filmic Extreme in Filmic Pro. If you're doing something that requires a little bit more of a higher production, maybe you're shooting a mate's wedding or something like that, you might want to choose ProRes. That's it guys, thanks for watching. Check out these other videos and I'll see you in the next one.